Imagine you have $1,000 in your pocket. Now here's a simple question. Would you rather keep that money or watch it slowly disappear over time due to inflation and expenses? Most people think they're doing fine just by saving whatever is left at the end of the month, after paying bills and covering expenses. But what if I told you there's a better way to ensure you always have more money than less in the long run? Let's talk about paying yourself first. This isn't some fancy financial term. It's simply setting aside a portion of your income before you do anything else, like pay bills or buy groceries. It sounds basic, but here's the key insight. When you put this habit into practice, you'll start seeing real growth in your wealth over time due to the power of compound interest and consistent saving. Let's dive into why paying yourself first is so powerful. Imagine you're at a buffet with all kinds of delicious options. You could walk up and fill your plate with whatever looks good right now, or you could decide to take just what you need and save room for dessert later. Paying yourself first is like setting aside the smallest portion of food possible before filling your plate with everything else. It's about ensuring that you always have something saved up, no matter how tempting it might be to spend every last dollar. Now let's look at some numbers. Let's say you make $50,000 a year and save 10% of your income, which is $5,000 per year. If you start this habit when you're 25 years old and continue until you're 65, that's 40 years of saving. At an average annual return of 7%, how much would that be worth by the time you retire? The answer might surprise you. Over $1 million, assuming no additional contributions and a consistent 7% annual return rate compounded annually. But wait a second. What if you don't start paying yourself first right away? Let's say you decide to delay this habit for just 5 years. If you start at age 35 instead of 30, how much less will you have by the time you retire? The answer depends on your rate of return and retirement age, but can be significant. For example, if you invest $1,000 monthly with an average annual return of 7%, from age 30 to 65 would yield approximately $1.4 million. Delaying 5 years could result in about $292,000 less. That's a substantial amount that could make all the difference in your retirement. Why does this happen? It's because of something called compound interest. Here's an easy way to think about it. Imagine you put $5 into a savings account and leave it there for 10 years. With just a 2% annual return by year 10, that initial $5 would grow to approximately $6.21. Let's bump the return up to 7%. The same initial $5 would be worth nearly $9.84 in 10 years. Compound interest is the snowball effect of earning returns on your previous earnings. But here's a twist: compound interest can work against you too. If you carry high-interest debt, like credit card balances, those debts grow just as quickly as your savings do. A $5,000 balance with an 18% annual interest rate could balloon to over $23,764 in 10 years if you only make minimum payments. Now think about this. Paying yourself first means you're prioritizing saving over reducing debt immediately while also building up your savings. It's like turning off 2 bad leaks and opening 1 good faucet at the same time. Over decades, these small daily decisions can significantly improve your financial health by fostering a habit of saving and investing early on. Let's look at some real-life examples of people who paid themselves first and ended up with significant savings versus those who didn't. Take John Bogle, the founder of Vanguard, and his creation of index funds. By investing consistently over many years, he demonstrated that a simple strategy can lead to substantial wealth. Conversely, we have stories like Enron's employees who lost their retirement savings because they were heavily invested in company stock rather than diversifying their investments. So how do you actually start paying yourself first? It's easier than it sounds. First, set up automatic transfers from your paycheck into a savings or investment account. You can start small, maybe just 3% of your income, and gradually increase it as you get more comfortable with the habit. The key is to make it effortless so that you don't have to think about it. But here's where things get tricky. Our brains are wired in ways that often work against us financially. We tend to focus on immediate gratification rather than long-term rewards. This behavioral bias, called hyperbolic discounting, means we undervalue future benefits and overvalue present ones. It's why you might choose a $5 latte today over the possibility of having significantly more savings years from now, by foregoing small expenses regularly. To combat this, think about your financial goals as if they were already achieved. Visualize yourself retiring comfortably or buying that dream home. The clearer you can make these goals, the easier it will be to stick with paying yourself first. And remember, every little bit counts. Even small amounts saved consistently over time can grow significantly due to compound interest and other investment returns. Another common misconception is that you need a lot of money to start investing. That's not true. You could open an account with as little as $50 or even less and grow it gradually from there. The important thing isn't how much you put in, but rather establishing the habit itself. It's about building a foundation now so that your future self can reap the benefits of compound growth over time. Now here's something else to consider. Paying yourself first isn't just about money. It's also about peace of mind and security. Knowing that you're consistently saving towards your goals can reduce stress, improve sleep, and increase overall happiness. In essence, it's a form of financial self-care. But let's get back to the numbers for a moment. Imagine you invest $100 every month in an index fund, with an average annual return of 7%. After 5 years, that initial investment will grow to approximately $7,126 before taxes and fees. Over 10 years, it grows to around $15,854. By the time you hit retirement age at 65, assuming a consistent monthly contribution of $100 and an average annual return of 7%, your total savings could be worth approximately $391,235 before taxes and fees. But here's another crucial point: fees matter. High fees can eat away at those gains faster than you might think. For example, if the same scenario includes a management fee of just 1% annually, your final balance after 40 years would drop significantly. Assuming an initial investment of $50,000, with annual contributions of $5,000 growing at an average rate of 7%, including a 1% fee, would reduce the final balance to approximately $692,000, compared to about $798,000 without any fees. Every little bit counts when it comes to minimizing expenses and maximizing returns. Now let's talk about the psychological barriers. We often think we need a big windfall or a major life change before we can start saving effectively. But that kind of thinking is a trap. The reality is that you can start today with what you have right now. Even if it's just $10 or $20 each month, starting small sets the foundation for better savings habits in the future. And here's one final piece of advice: don't be afraid to seek guidance. Whether it's from a financial advisor, a mentor, or a community group, having support can make all the difference. Guidance can provide accountability, offer new perspectives, and help maintain motivation during challenging times. In conclusion, paying yourself first is not just about saving money, it's about setting up a secure future for yourself. It's a simple but powerful habit that can significantly transform your financial life over time through the power of compounding. So why wait? Start today with whatever you have available. Make it automatic and consistent, and watch as the numbers grow due to the magic of compound interest. This is educational and historical, not financial advice. Imagine this: when you pay yourself first, you're essentially planting a seed that grows into a tree of financial security. For example, if you start by setting aside just 5% of your income in an investment account that earns an average annual return of around 7%, the power of compound interest will work wonders over time. After 30 years, that small monthly contribution can grow significantly due to compounding returns. Let's break it down with numbers. If you earn $40,000 annually and set aside just $167 each month, 5% of your income, after 30 years, assuming an average annual return of 7% compounded monthly, you'll have over $282,000. That's the magic of starting early and staying consistent. Another key point is to diversify where you allocate that money. Don't just put it into a single savings account or one type of investment. Spread your risk across different assets like index funds, bonds, and even real estate if possible. This reduces the likelihood of losing everything due to market volatility. Furthermore, automate these savings as much as possible. Set up direct deposits into your retirement account, emergency fund, and other savings accounts directly from your paycheck. This removes the temptation to skip a payment or spend that money elsewhere. Remember, paying yourself first isn't just about saving for retirement. It's also crucial for short-term financial goals like building an emergency fund. Aim to save at least 3 to 6 months' worth of essential expenses in a readily accessible account. This buffer can be invaluable during unexpected events like job loss or medical emergencies. Lastly, don't forget the psychological benefits. Knowing you're consistently putting money aside for your future can significantly reduce stress and anxiety about financial security. This knowledge serves as a powerful motivator to continue working toward larger financial goals. This is educational and historical, not financial advice. Paying yourself first helps with long-term wealth accumulation through the magic of compound interest. Imagine starting early in your career by setting aside just $100 per month in an account that earns 7% annually. By the time you retire at age 65, assuming contributions start at age 25 and no withdrawals, that small monthly contribution would grow to approximately $349,800. Moreover, automating these savings can make it effortless. Set up direct deposits from your paycheck into a separate savings account designated for your financial goals. This way, saving becomes a habitual part of your finances rather than an occasional chore. Another key aspect is avoiding high-interest debt that can sabotage your efforts to save. Credit card interest rates often exceed 15%, which means every dollar spent on unnecessary purchases comes with a hefty price tag in the form of accrued interest. Instead, prioritize paying down any existing debts and avoid new ones whenever possible. In summary, paying yourself first involves prioritizing your financial well-being by setting up automatic savings, building an emergency fund, and avoiding debt. These practices help secure your immediate future while laying the foundation for long-term success and peace of mind. This is educational content, not financial advice.